If it's transactional, that's great. Go in for the kill. But what I realize is there's two people. There's the butcher and the milkman. You got to figure out which one you want to be. Does anybody know what a milkman does? Delivers, right?
Every day.
Every day.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And then waiting
What does
at
the
the
butcher
doorstep
do?
for 'em, too.
He chopped that up. He killed
So
you.
once he puts his hand on something, it's finished.
It's dead.
Right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. You either want to be a butcher, because sometimes it's an opportunity to just be a butcher. I'm here to just handle this business, and I'm done. Right? It's transactional in that moment. But there's a season, and there's a time, and there's a place, there's an opportunity to be a milkman. Because with a milkman, guess what? He is continuing and continuously delivering milk. Because he's trying to preserve the cow. The butcher's just trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So when you're doing business, are you trying to be the butcher or are you trying to be the milkman? How are you going to establish that relationship? Right? So along this journey doing music, I realized that, man, there's power in knowing people. And I used to hear the saying, it's all about who you know. Right? So I'm here to dispel that. It's not just about who you know, it's about who knows you. Right? Because we all could say, oh man, we know Russell Simmons, or we know Michael Bivens. Yeah, you know him, but does he know you? If you call right now, if you pick up your phone, is that number, is that email in your contact? And if it is, if you have the opportunity to reach out to that person, when they pick up or their assistant picks up, will they say, hey, Daryl, June's on the phone for you. Oh, no problem, put him through. Instead of saying, what is this concerning?
Yeah.
I mean, and this call is about? You are calling from?
Who are you?
It's about who you know and who knows you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now here's the key piece. I've made this journey on MTV, BET, VH1, the box.
Video music.
I'm
box.
seeing myself in all the, I'm old school, periodicals, they're called magazines. Right? Right?
What?
I'm even in Toronto one time. 1996, I'm in Toronto. We're getting poutine, and it's me, my mom, my dad, my girlfriend at the time, and we're standing in the line just waiting to check out. And I'm flipping through magazines because that's the point of purchase right there. They have to get you candy bars, magazines, and mix, right? And I'm looking through the magazine and like, yo, it's great. I'm like, yo, these people look familiar. I think I can. And I'm looking, and all of a sudden I hear, oh my God! And I look over, I'm like, what's the matter? And it's my mom and my girlfriend, like, you're in this magazine. And I'm like, I got the same magazine. I'm like, oh, so that's why they look familiar. It was me and my group in the magazine. I'm like, I'm in Toronto. This is crazy. The power of that medium. And I'm hearing myself on the radio, I'm seeing myself on the video. I'm meeting people. People that you may see, if you don't already follow me on any of the platforms, people that you see me with today, I've known since I started the journey. Most of them. Martin Lawrence, Keith Sweat, Michael Bivens, like I mentioned. But it's establishing those relationships over years where you don't actually just pull up at the table with your hand out. You pull up at the table and you bring something with you. You ask, how can I be of service? How can I help you grow? Part of networking and connecting, especially what you guys are doing in terms of coaching, starting a business, being an entrepreneur, is leading with service, leading with humanity. Right? Here's the thing that I learned earlier too. It ain't about you, Daryl. Sis, it's not about you. Terrell, it's not about you. It's about what you can do and leave behind long after you are gone. While you're here, you have to do the work. But how do you make the people around you better? How do you make your community better? When I began to realize that, the trajectory, the perspective changed. The way I touch the community, the way I touch people changes. Right? How can I help you? What are you working on that I can help you make magic? Because in there's got to be something there for me as well, because I'm bringing my expertise, I'm bringing my experience. Never ask, hey man, can you put me on? What you got? Can you hire me? How can I help you? So now, 1999 comes. Too much, too fast, too soon, like the classic VH1 story, right? We implode. No more TV, no more videos, no more recording. And I found myself back in Hartford, Connecticut, where the journey began. And in 1989, when I was graduating, and that summer we went to the Apollo almost exam, I started my college career. I turned down a soccer scholarship to play at Long Island University, because I kept telling people, I gotta stick around, because I'm doing this thing with my group, and we're gonna get a record deal. And where I'm from, people always say, you know you're from Hartford, right? People don't get record deals. Like you, that's not what we do. We're known for sports, right? No, we're gonna get a record deal. All right, cool. If that's what you say, cool. But when we get the record deal, people couldn't believe it. And then we lose the record deal, people are like, they always going, yeah, so what happened? Yeah, but we did it though. Right? I tried it, we succeeded, and we did fail. But we were on the top of the charts when we failed. The #1 record across the country when we failed. The #1 video on VH1 and Video Soul with Rachel, and we failed. But before we failed, we did it. And along the way, I always, and you gotta write this down. This is an old perspective. So the young lady, you ain't gonna get this at first, but you're gonna understand it. Right? There used to be this saying called shake hands and kiss babies. And I would go out and I would shake hands and kiss babies. And when the group was over, I went back to the young man who helped us launch everything, who connected us with food. I'm not gonna mention his name, so I'm not gonna give him credit. And I went to him, I said, man, now that this thing is kind of like, oh, I want to do something with this celebrity that I have. I want to raise money and awareness to AIDS and breast cancer. And I want to do it on my birthday, right? And this is where I started to see marketing come into play what I was doing, because I started learning from what he was doing with food, what he was doing with us. I'm like, man, I want to do an event called June Archer's Celebration of Life. And people are like, that's kind of morbid. Like, why you only use that term, celebration of life, for a funeral? And I'm like, yeah, but we got, while we're here, people are dying. My grandmother has been battling breast cancer. Like, I have friends who have died from AIDS. We got to get awareness. We got to get women to get checked. We need them to self-check. We need awareness and information about AIDS and how it spread. One day I'm on tour and I see this poster with a baby. The baby's crying, he's in a crib. And it says, tears, cries, sighs. And I'm like, trying to figure out what that means. What is this? What are they trying to say with this image? And there was a number at the bottom, and I called. And I spoke to this gentleman by the name of Daryl Decker. He's still my mentor to this day. Older gentleman. He's in his 80s now. Sir, what does this image mean? And he says, well, that baby contracted AIDS from its mother's breast milk. And I said, man, how is that possible? Do people know this? And that was the second piece of me saying, I have to do this event. Now, when this gentleman came in, I'm like, listen, you got all these numbers, you got all these connections. We had over 2,500 people at the record release party. I'm like, if I could just get half of that at my birthday party, this would be great. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have an all-black party. They said, June, now you're taking it too far. All black? And you wanna call it Celebration of Life? This is 27 years ago, but guess what? If you look at any calendar or any event right now, people are doing all black parties like it's going out of style. And I remember when people were like, yeah, nah dog, that's a little morbid. We were getting up to 1,200 people come to see. But I asked this gentleman, can I get the list? And he says to me, nah, why would I do that? I'm like, man, we just paid you $60,000. You can at least share the mailing list with me. He's like, nah, you gotta get out there and shake hands and kiss babies. I was like, man, I heard that term. And then he told me something that crushed me. He said, you gotta go out there and get your hands and knees dirty and build your own brand. As much as it hurt my feelings, it was the best piece of advice I've gotten to this day. And when people see events that I've done and things that I've connected with, it's because I wasn't afraid to get my hands and knees dirty and build my own brand. Because when somebody tells you, Daryl, you can't have your event in my building. Terrell, I no longer want your services. I got it from here. Guess what? You built your brand. And your people and your community will travel wherever you go and support what you're doing. But if it's built on the back of somebody else, there's no brand loyalty, right? There may be some cross promotion, there may be collaboration, there may be partnership, but if you don't touch the people yourself, you're not going to follow what it is that you're doing. Right? So rubbing elbows, shaking hands, kissing babies is how you're going to do it. You start with the 3 hellos, but there's also something I like to call, and hopefully, I know Terrell shared the link with you. I started an online course called Definitive Art of Networking. Now, why is this? Because from all this journey, since the Apollo Theater to now, people have always asked me, how do you know? How are you connected? How do you work with 50? How do you work with Amari Howard? How do you work with this networking? But how were you able to network and have the #1 show during the pandemic when nobody was able to film or go into the studio at G Unit? I was networking. Man, you gotta tell me how to do it. And I said to myself, it's a road sign. Let me go ahead and create this. Right. And one of the things I realized is, and I'm gonna give you this one gem. I'm gonna give you this appetizer in the event that you don't get it. At least you can say, I gave you the 3 hellos and I gave you this. But if you get the whole thing, I promise you, it changes your life exponentially. Mm-hmm. And I know that it works because for those who know Coach Kevin Ficklin, great guy, he put me on the spot. I'm out with my wife right after I dropped the course, and she puts me on the spot in a restaurant. We were having dinner with people that we didn't know. And I gave them a scenario based on what I'm teaching in this class. And both of them said, my God, you're good. You are good. I know you know people, you connect with people, but how did you do that just now? Like you don't even know these people. I said, there's an art to it. There is a definitive art to networking. So I'm gonna give you one of them. It's called environmental situation networking. It's reading the room. Right? Now, you walk into this boot camp, and I see this young lady. Give me your name.
Maureen.
Maureen. And I say to Maureen, I'm right next to Maureen, I'm like, man, I came here to see Coach Terrell. It's kind of chilly in here. Are you chilly? She don't know me from a can of paint. I see she has a scarf on. She goes, it is kind of chilly. I said, well, pardon me, what is your name? She says, Maureen. Maureen, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm June Archer. In the environment, I wasn't cold at all. I just saw that she had a scarf on. And I read the room just to make a connection. Now guess who I met today?
Maureen. Smart.
There's a situation here. There's something that's happening in the environment. Mm-hmm. It's me saying, Miss B, that's a really dope coat. I know where you get that from? Do you shop at? Where you shop at? And she's like, this man is crazy. Right? Or I love your braids. They look beautiful. Now, if she responds, oh, no, thank you. So where do you get your hair done? 'Cause my wife would love to get her hair braided like that. Oh, I go to such and such over. Oh, you know, do you mind giving me the information? Oh, matter of fact, here's my information too, just in case, if I can help with anything. Now I've made a connection with this because I made a compliment. Look at, I just gave you the third one. Complimentary. Situation, environment, and complimentary. Hey brother, I like that suit you got on, man. I like that powder blue. There's a conversation in there. Oh man, thank you, man. I got this from John, wherever he may shop. And I'm like, oh man, I never been to John, but I've been to Marshall's. My powder blue don't look like your powder blue. Right? There's a moment that happens there to exchange something. Compliment. Hey, have you ever seen Coach? No, I never seen him. I'm just here. I just heard it was a boot camp, so I'm here. Oh man, if you're going to another one, I'd love to connect with you. But now, guess what happened in that moment? You started your first hello. You see how all it connects? It's multidisciplinary. In the moment, absolutely, absolutely. But now, here's another gem for you. People always say, well, how do you keep in contact with people? How do you know who to keep in contact with? Guess what? Evan, when's your birthday, Evan?
May 20.
May 20. It's coming up. But guess what? If I follow Evan on LinkedIn, y'all heard of LinkedIn, right?
Yes.
If I have him on Facebook, y'all heard of Facebook, right? These are two platforms. If Evan puts May 20th in his profile, it's going to remind me that Evan has a birthday coming up.
It's in there, June. I'm going to wait for the message.
Right? It's in there the day of to tell me it's his birthday. There is no reason why you cannot connect with someone 4 times a year just to stay relevant, just to check on, just to wish a happy birthday. Everyone pretty much celebrates New Year, even if they don't want to. You can say, hey, Happy New Year.
Yep.
Right? Happy birthday. If I know that, Evan, when is your wedding anniversary?
We don't really track that.
That's what he said. Right. But to my point is,
16th, but we don't go from.
but I know if it's a date that they celebrate, I can say, hey man, I just want to wish you and the wife a happy anniversary. Right? Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. Happy Hanukkah or Yom Kippur if you celebrate, if you know who you are connecting with. I just want to wish you a happy Labor Day, man. I know the kids are going back to school. You can even extend it to their family. Tell your wife I said happy birthday. Tell your son happy birthday. I know it's your parents' anniversary. I just want to tap in and just wish them a happy anniversary. I know they celebrate 50 years. What a milestone. Give them my blessing. That's 7 times I just tapped in with Evan. 7. And in the hopes that Evan may say, hey, I don't know if you're around this weekend, but I'm going to be in New York doing an event with Terrell Jones. But I would have never known that if I don't tap in periodically. There's no reason why you can't stay connected with someone when they all celebrate something or someone. There's power in just reaching out. Sometimes I'm gonna give you the cheat sheet. I'm gonna give you the hack. If I'm not busy doing anything, if I'm watching the Super Bowl, during the commercial, I'm going A through Z. Today I'm gonna go A through C. I'm just gonna look at names on my contact list and just tap in. Archer, boom, June. Hey June, just wanna say what's up, man. I'm just at this PCS Bootcamp and I thought about you, just wanna say what's up. Bang, that's it. If they respond, cool. If they don't, you reached out. Hey man, that's cool. I heard about it. I wanted to go, but I didn't get to go. Oh, it was great. If you want notes, I'll shoot them over to you. Boom. Next name. B. Bivens. Mike Bivens. Hey Mike, what's going on? I know the tour started. Just want to say what's up. Hope you're being safe out there. I knew that you in Newark. You coming to Queens. Can I get some tickets? And you go through that list. You make you start with family. You call mama and them. You call my cousin. Text her. Just say what's up. I'm gonna tell you, it's important now more than ever because for those who watch my show, The Winner Circle, when this is 50, for the past 2 years in the pandemic, I ended the show by saying, when you have the opportunity to tell someone that you love them, never leave the opportunity undone to do so. Because it might be the last opportunity you have. So when you have the opportunity to tell somebody you love them, you just shoot them a text. Because I know we're in an age where people don't even like to be on the phone. People don't, now we're tired of Zooming. It's just a simple text or email. It's
You
not
have
embracing.
emojis. You don't even have to type anything. You have emojis. Send
That's
emojis.
it. Send a prayer emoji. Send a heart emoji. Send 3 of them. Somebody that you really love. Tomorrow's not promised. Neither was today. And I hate to disappoint you. Yesterday wasn't promised either. But we did make it. So when I take all of these things and I'm looking to start businesses and start programs and events, it's because I'm networking and building relationships. No matter if it's the person at the front desk or it's the CEO, whether it's the janitor or the assistant. Because what I found is that person that is the assistant, the person that is at the front door, ends up being in a very high position at one point. And you're like, oh man, when did they make you this is dope. But they will remember how you made them feel when you walked in the door.
When it was
Whether
low.
you like, yeah, I don't want to sign that. I'm just signing to get in. Just tell Terrell I'm here. Oh, okay. I got you. I'm gonna go ahead and write your name down. And then when you find them in a power position, they're the person on the other end of the phone like, so what is this call regarding?
Yep.
Yeah.
Know who you is.
Yeah, no. Weren't you the? Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I'm that person. So along the journey, be careful who you treat a certain way because on the way up, even on your incline or your decline, people gonna be there like, so guess what? You gotta deal with me. And I remember how you made me feel. Good, bad, or indifferent.
That's right.
When you leave here today, you see somebody in the hallway here. Hey man, how you doing? Have a great day, man. Have a great day. Hey, I hope you have a great weekend. It costs you nothing but your time to do these things. And you find that there's magic in humanity because the universe will reward you handsomely. I promise you. There are days when, in my business, you get a check for $50,000, $80,000, 2010, and then 3 months later, you're like, man, $80,000 check will come in handy right now. Even five will come in handy right now.
Let me get some.
Right? And when you look up, here comes that check. Somebody says, hey, you know what? Maureen, I was thinking about you. I know you do X, Y, and Z, you coach. I got this school over here, and I got $20K they trying to spend. They trying to get rid of the money. Invoice me tomorrow, don't forget.
They send me a book.
Yep.
Lead with humanity. Rub elbows, shake hands, kiss babies. There's no way that you can't win. And winning is a long game, right? You want to, there's this thing, right? You want $5,000 today, you want $5,000 every day.
Every day.
That's the perspective. Because some people get greedy. They're like, oh man, no, you got to tell them I want $28,000. You're like, Maureen, I just told you they got 20 right now. Now I ain't gonna do it for less than 28. I ain't leaving the house until 28. No, but they trying to get us away. But they renew their budget every year.
That's right.
All right, you know what? They said they didn't do it. All right, cool, I got it. And Maureen call back next year like, so what's good? They're like, no, we ain't got it. We got 20, and we can, you know, we just connected with Daryl, so Daryl's gonna do it for 20. We locked him in for 5 years. So you took that 28, but you lost out on 100 because you were thinking short game instead of long game, right? Figure out what game you're playing that's long game and make these connections, stay connected. Technology makes it so easy. Like I said, the birthdays pop up.
Yeah.
As soon as they pop up on Facebook, I just go into Facebook and just go to birthday section. All right, cool.
Yep.
It tells you 17 birthdays today, no problem. It costs me nothing but 10 minutes to copy and paste and say happy birthday. Copy paste, happy birthday. Oh no, I know Daryl. Happy birthday, copy paste, Daryl, exclamation point, send.
On that LinkedIn too, work anniversaries come up and promotions. Yeah.
Starting a new position.
Yeah, all of
Take advantage of that because it's giving you the blueprint. It's a cheat sheet. You can't not. Oh yeah, no, I saw your birthday, but you know, it took you. You would make coffee, do all these other things, watch IG, watch Twitter, watch TikTok, and go down a rabbit hole. When in up 20, 30, 40 minutes, hour, 2 hours that you were doing that, you could have took 15 minutes and said happy birthday, congratulations, happy anniversary, and kept it moving, and there would have been an opportunity somewhere in there that would have been a blessing. So I want to end with that unless you have some questions. I know that T had.
Yeah, I want to do something too. If y'all got any questions, ask. Because I'm going to do a quick interview with him too, so you guys can get different dynamics.
I just got one
What was-
question. For the environmental situation and compliment people and all, you said it was the art of,
Definitive Art Network.
definitive art.
That's the name of the course.
What was that last show you said that you had on This Is 50 where you gave your little, stay connected with your people, say hello to them?
The Winner Circle.
The Winner Circle.
The Winner Circle, yeah. And to this day, and here's another point, the reason why I stay connected, especially over the journey, and I saw that it panned out in the pandemic, is I started to reach into let me go back. Before the pandemic started, you know, every so often, your phone start acting crazy, and then they tell you, oh, you gotta come in and get an upgrade. So I went and got an upgrade, and I go to T-Mobile. And I'm in there and I'm like, all right, I'll get this phone, and they're like, all right, we're gonna mirror the phone, and it's gonna look like you got the same phone, just an upgraded phone. Cool. How long is it gonna take? It should take about 10 minutes. No problem. Cool, because I gotta pick my kids up from school. 10 minutes go by, what's going on? Oh, we're still doing it, we had to reconnect it, blah, 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 this, that, third. 30 minutes go by, I'm like, I have to go. Like,
Yeah.
something happened, it got stuck, it got jammed, so we're gonna do it again. You know what? I don't even need it right now. I'm gonna get my kids, come back, hopefully it'll be done by then. Y'all, it can't be no excuse. I come back and they're like, so, sir, we're gonna have you do it a different way because it got jammed. What we found out is you have 60,000 contacts in your phone. Does that sound right? I said, no. I think the last time I came here, the same thing happened a year and a half ago, and I think it duplicated the contacts. And like, but yeah, that was still making 30-something thousand contacts. Is that right? I'm like, yeah, that's about right. And the lady was like, who are you? I'm like, I'm the dot connector. That's who I am. I said, pardon me, and I know this may sound crass, Google me. I'm very humble to a fault. Just Google me, because if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. And she starts seeing the people, she's like, oh, but keep in mind, no matter where I go, I don't leave without getting information. There's not a day that goes by that I don't get a phone number, email, IG handle. I'm collecting information. I'm collecting contacts and information.
Smart.
Right? Because here's the thing. I learned this early from a cousin of mine. People go by and say, oh man, you know what? You know, Evan, Daryl's only trying to use you for your contacts, man. He's just trying to use you for connection. Oh, Terrell, you know, Maureen, she just want to connect with you because she just want to use you.
Daryl, okay, I'll remember that.
Yeah. But when you become the common denominator, It is your job to connect people. It's your job to be the dot connector. Because if you're not being used, I want you to write this down. If you are not being used, you are being useless. You have the opportunity to lead with humanity, to be a dot connector. Part of the equation that you have to figure out is how, as a dot connector, how is the common denominator? How do you benefit? Sometimes it's not about money. It's not always about money, it's about the opportunity. How can you benefit? Because guess what? People always say, well, I'm not going to deal with Evan because he just wants to use me. So guess what? Evan does connect with Daryl. And every time Evan comes to New York, he reaches out to Daryl. And in there, Daryl found a way to make some opportunities happen and make money happen. And here it is. I was like, I couldn't see it. I was being short-sighted. But when Evan comes in, he needs a car service. When Evan comes in, he's trying to figure out where he can eat. When Evan comes in, he's trying to entertain his son. When Evan comes in, him and his business partner, they're trying to figure out where they can have lunch and do more business. If you can solve those problems, there is opportunity, and sometimes there's money attached to that. So now when you get the car service, you tell the car service guy, I got Evan Michael coming in, Carmichael coming in. When you bust that money down, just go ahead and hit your boy with 20%. Anything that come in here, I got you, 20%. And you never know. Evan might say, you know what? Man, thank you. I want to give you tickets to boom. Not monetary, but it's an opportunity to spend time with him or connect with someone else at the event that he just gave you tickets to.
Yeah.
It's long game. It's long game. So I'm gonna end with this. Last night, 2 weeks ago, I ended up doing something on the red carpet with Bootcamp for their TV show. And I'm talking RZA, Method Man, and we're connecting, and I'm at 92nd Y. And I'm talking to the people, you know me, I'm telling you, I don't leave without a connection. I don't leave any kind of human interaction. And I connect with this young lady by the name of Patrick. I'm like, Patrick, and there's a whole line of people in red carpet. And I'm like, Patrick, we gotta connect. You gotta keep me posted on what you got going. And in this, within earshot, everybody's hearing the conversation. She's like, oh, no problem, I'll connect you. We have Whoopi Goldberg and Forrest Whitaker coming soon. But you know what? Tell me what it is that you're interested in. Are you interested in the arts and sciences? Are you interested in entertainment and music? I said I'm interested in all of it. I'll interview everybody and anybody. And I see people look at me like, oh, what? Did he just say that? I did. I can interview anybody about anything because I always leave with humanity. And I stayed in contact with Patrick. And Patrick stayed in contact with me. Patrick said to me a couple days ago, I have tickets for you and anybody if you have a guest. I have reserved seating for Forrest Whitaker, Whoopi Goldberg. I said, that'd be great. My special guest is my wife. And I go last night to 92nd Y. My wife and I go to a Chinese restaurant, eat food. We get to the door and we see the line. Now this is funny, and you could bring this up with my wife. I get to the door, I'm walking by the door, and I see the line. I'm like, oh, hold on, let me talk to the guy here at the front door. And I'm like, hey man, June Archie, I'm a publicist. I'm a TV personality. Connected with Patrick, she has some tickets for me. He's like, okay, 1 second. But I told my wife, hold on, let me talk to him first. I turn around, I don't see it. The guy's like, no problem, come this way. And I look, and I see my wife walking down the block, and I'm like, what is she doing? And I'm walking, I'm calling her, and I'm like, oh, why she's not answering the phone? And I turn the corner, and I see her all the way down. There's more people down the block, and she finally picks up the phone. I'm like, where are you? She said, I just wanted to hold the line because the line was wrong. And I thought, I said, woman, I told you to stand right here before. We got connections. Now the funny part is she walks back up the block and we walking past the line. Now mind you, this line is longer than this room. We go back to everyone's looking at us, we go back to the front. And when we got inside, we in the fourth row. People, oh hey, how you doing? Yeah, you was Wu-Tang, da-da-da. And then people walking in, see my wife like, oh, we saw you outside in the line. We knew the line was long, and they're thinking to themselves, hold on. But you walk, how are you here before us? And they're like, we saw you, your dress is beautiful. She came out the bathroom and she's like, there was 4 women and told me that they enjoyed my dress when I walked by the line. I was like, did you tell them that you walked that way for no reason at all? Connections, because I connected. Got there and was able to give, I have a clothing line called Queller, was able to give a couple of people from the cast, including Forrest Whitaker and Whoopi Goldberg, one of my bracelets. It's connections and making people feel good. And my wife was like, yo, I love coming out with you. I really appreciate all the opportunities you have for us to do things like this. It's surreal sometimes. And I said, hey, it's just leading with humanity. That's it. So I want to thank y'all for y'all time. I know we had
All right, give it up.
You have a seat. I'm staying.
I probably could do the same height.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm no Kevin Hart. Jesus.
Alright, so I got the pleasure, of, especially over the last few months, really getting a chance to know you a lot. Just be able to build our relationship, deeper. So I'm gonna ask you some ugly, dirty questions. When I say ugly, dirty questions, I mean in terms of networking, right? Because sometimes you're trying to meet certain people, and I know you got some tricks, some tactics, some ideas, and so I want to get your perspective.
Okay.
But
But if it's in the course, I'm not gonna answer that question.
Which, by the way, you can scan that, and of course, I see y'all writing it down. When you send it, you can actually scan it, and you can get direct access to the course of that. All right, cool. But you can do that afterwards.
And it's only 50% off for the next couple of weeks. Don't miss out. If you're interested, don't miss out.
All right, so I'm gonna give you a scenario, and I want to know what you would do in this scenario.
Okay.
So let's say you're at the Oscars, right? You're at the Oscars, and you want to, let's say you want to connect with Jay-Z, for example. Right now, you got security guards, bodyguards, people. It's hard to get to him, right? In a scenario like that, how would you network your way into being able to connect with somebody like a Jay-Z at an event where it's like, damn, I don't know if I can really get to him, or they probably have a certain area that they hang out in, and you know what I mean, or they sectioned off in a certain section. How would you, or if you have any practical examples that you've done this before where it was really hard to get to a certain person, how would you connect with somebody in this scenario?
Well, the hack for me back in the day was really paying attention to what was going on with people and what was going on around me. So if I know that Terrell is a security guard of Jay, no matter where I go, if I don't see Jay with Terrell, I'm gonna introduce myself to Terrell. So by the time I get to that opportunity at the Oscars, I've already went through my 3 hellos. I've already built that relationship. I'm like, hey, Terrell, man, I know security's tight, man. Is there any way that I get meet Jay? Is there any way there's an opportunity? You know what? Hang tight. If there's an opportunity, there's a window. I'm gonna slide you in. It's gonna be quick. You can say what's up. Then I'm gonna have to usher you right back out, right? Then you respect that. You're like, all right, cool. But you're gonna do exactly what he said. You're not gonna be like peeking through the door, like, yo, what's up? We go, nah, lay back, pay attention, watch the flow. But it's already establishing. I used to go online, and this is crazy. This was the hack back then. I used to go online. You can still do it now. You can do it on IG, and you see people at events, right? And what I would do is I would not go to certain events because timing was crazy, or I just wasn't out in California at the time. And I would reach out to that person if I had their email, whatever, be like, hey, Maureen, it was great to see you. I didn't get to run over and see you. It was so crazy. You were so busy in that event, you didn't even realize that I was not there. But you like, yo, it was crazy, right? So we got to get together. We got to connect. But I was never in the building. Do you realize there were people last night at this Whoopi Forrest event that were on the other side of the room? They would never be able to, you could never, hey, Kim, saw you last night, couldn't get over there, but I saw Kim in the pictures. I saw her post pictures with her and Whoopi or her. So I know that she was there because I saw the pictures. I wasn't there, but man, I'd love to connect with you because I didn't get to see you last night. Oh no, oh man, you was there? Yeah, it was dope. I'm not gonna lie and tell you how dope it was. I just didn't get to see you last night. I didn't say I was there, I'm not gonna front. I didn't get to see you last night.
I like that. Like, right?
Makes sense.
There you go.
Now you made that, all right, let's, maybe, they having something again next week. I'm gonna make sure, oh, cool, I don't have access for next week, but, oh, cool, I'm gonna connect you with Patrick. That's how the universe works. But it's staying in contact, but that was one hack, I was just watch. It worked. I call it beating up technology. Use technology to your benefit. It's there. People are, they're filming the journey as it happens in real time.
So let's
Pay
flip
attention.
the scenario now. So now let's say, let's make it more personal, right? So let's say you got 30,000 contacts in your phone, right?
Well,
Let's say
more now.
well, I know-
5 years ago. That's 5 years ago.
Now 5 years ago, more like 50. All right, so let's say you come across an opportunity and you haven't spoke to somebody in years. And I think we've all had that, right? Where it might have been an opportunity, or you might have something, or whether it's a program or connection. How do you bring up a conversation with somebody about an opportunity and you haven't spoken to them for a long amount of time? Is there a proper way that you can do it, within the first few text messages, or you say, you know what, let me call them, or you know what, let me build a relationship for a few days and then ask them, like, how do you present at somebody with an opportunity that you haven't connected with in a long time?
That will happen. Here's the key. It's just being authentic. It's just being honest. What's going on, man? June Archer here. It's been a minute since we rapped. Hope all is well with you and the family during the pandemic. It's legal humanity, right? I'm not sure if this came across your desk, but I am in the business of interviewing people, and I saw that you're going to be with Mary J. Blige in a couple of weeks. If it's possible, can you connect me with someone on her team, or is there a way that you could connect me with someone that could get me to the event? I appreciate it. Is there anything I could do? Anything that you're working on, please let me know. I'd love to be a fan. It's really simple. Just being honest. We haven't talked in a minute. This came across my desk. I know that you are a part of this. If there's anything that you need for that event, or where I could be of help, there is an ask, but there's also, what can I do for you as well? Because the ask is what you, I ain't here to front. We ain't talking in a minute, bro. I hope all is well. Especially these past couple years. That's something to lean on. How are you doing? Hope people are battling with mental health and anxiety. I just want to know that you're good. I don't know if the family's well. I know, I met your parents. I just want to know, hopefully they're doing well. Give them my love. Then there's the ask, because it's warming up to it. It's not, hey man, Mary J's like, can you connect me? Man, you didn't ask me how I was doing.
Yeah.
So you just, all right, this is transactional, cool. So if Darren's like, yo, you got 20K, I'll make a connection. Oh wow, this is about the money. It wasn't about anything else. It was about you getting a connection. So I'm gonna tell you what's going to cost you. Now you mad? You can ask how I was doing. Even when you're dating, you can't go in for the kill.
Nope.
Gentlemen, we gotta be chivalrous, right?
Yes, sir.
Open the door. You can't be, and this is for you, young men who listen, you want my attention? You gotta act like a gentleman. You wanna be my boyfriend? There's work to be put in before we get to that point. It's the same thing with business. It's a relationship.
Right.
There's gotta be trust that's built.
True story.
Right? There's got to be a foundation that's built that can sit on something that when you and your boyfriend are having trouble, if you and your business partner are having issues, foundationally, there's some things that just won't waver because foundation, we believe in the same things. There's things that we just won't, I know you're not going to steal from me. We may not see eye to eye on where we want to go from a marketing perspective, or changing the logo, or giving back to whichever organization, whether it's the Y or the person. We may not agree on that, but foundationally, I know you're not going to cheat me. I know you're not going to rob me. Because it's set on a foundation because we built this thing over time, the correct way, by doing things fundamentally in the order it was to be like, I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to hold the door for you. I'm going to say please and thank you. I'm going to ask how you doing. I'm going to tell you that I love you. This foundation, we're going to sit on those things.
Man, appreciate you. That's it.
I'm not gonna let you go without asking this question.
All right, what you got?
All right, so this has happened to me, and I know it probably hasn't happened to anybody here, but it happened to me. When you're surrounded by people with a higher social status, where they're millionaires and billionaires and everything, you want to be around these people, and you feel that you don't have anything to offer these people because they have everything. What is it? What is the mindset that you take on in order to engage these people? That breaks you through that barrier.
You do have something to offer. It's a great question.
That's
You
an
do have
excellent
something to
question.
offer, because guess what? Those people who are high value, even high net worth people, most of them have an issue with, am I doing this right? There's a lot of insecurity out there. So yeah, they may have all the money they want, but if you're like, man, those are some ugly sneakers. Really? Oh my God, I paid $20,000 for these sneakers. Really think they're ugly? Oh my God, I'm taking these things off right now. What sneakers you think I should get? There's always something, but if you, once again, lead with humanity, be like, hey, Maureen, how you doing? I really have been following you. I know you run a Fortune 500 company. I loved your book. The part that you talk about, you know, when you were growing up and you were trying to battle, whether you were, people thought you were black, they thought you were Latin, like a Latina, we're trying to figure out, like, I just want to let you know, as a Jamaican man, I had a battle with being black or being Jamaican because I wasn't accepted. I just want to say that part really touched me when you did that. And if I could keep in contact or shoot you an email, I would really love it. And if not, I totally appreciate your time right here. You know what that means to them? That you paid attention to their book, that you actually read it.
That you care.
Had nothing to do with money, had nothing to do with status. You literally broke them down in that moment and say, you know what? You see me. A lot of people don't see these people. They, oh man, that's Jay-Z, that's Beyonce.
Yeah.
That's cool. I see another human being that does something that I want. Or something that I love to do. Something that I enjoy. Bless you. Right? It's, once again, lead with human. What is it that, in that environment, you can say, oh man, Miss Maureen, that's a beautiful scarf. I know you're busy. I know you, this is your night. I just want to, my daughter made this for me. Thank you. It cost you nothing, but you really appreciate it. You really in that moment. It don't matter if it's Oprah. You could go up to Oprah and be like, Oprah, you get some love. You get some love. You go, girl. She'd be like, she will remember that.
Yeah.
I remember being in the club one time with my boys, and Russell Simmons was over in the corner, right where Evan is, right? Russell and all his people. Like, yo, how do we get Russell Simmons' attention? What can you do to get his attention? Popping bottles is, well, this is your situation. You can't, he's worth millions. He's so Def Jam, he's worth millions. You know what? I want to order a drink. We're gonna get some ginger ales, but can you send a bucket? And the guy was like, champagne? No. Can you send some bottled water over there to Russell Simmons?
You don't drink.
So, it goes over there, and he's like, my man, all right, I see y'all. Yeah, we just want to get your attention. Like, we're doing this music thing, blah, blah, blah. Name of the group is Room Services. You know, any keys to success? And y'all gotta work hard, network. All right, cool. That's all we needed. Now when I see Russell, I've seen Russell with E.T. and E.T. how you know Russell? Yeah, Russell. Every time. Hey, you know how Russell does?
Yeah.
Because there's a moment, and every time I see him, water? Want some water? You good? Right? Do things that come from your heart that are authentic, and just leave with humanity. It takes nothing to give someone a compliment and make them feel good, no matter how much money they got, how many cars they drive, how many frequent flyer miles they got. Just leave with humanity. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yes.
There's plenty of people I know that, when I first met, I know 50 since, it's a lot, like Russell's one, there's a bunch of them. Like, yo, I'm just being myself. You can't fault me for being myself. You're either gonna hate me or you're gonna love me, but at the end of the day, if I make a connection, I shot my shot. You only take 100% of the shots that you take.
That's right. That's right.
All right, let's give it up.
Appreciate y'all.
Good, we're good.
All right. That give a lot of value?
Yes.